Shannon Sharpe has apparently decided to take his Nightcap podcast to IG Live. And on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we're not listening to Shannon and Skip debate the Dallas Cowboys. We're not listening to Shannon and Stephen A. talk LeBron James's legacy. We're not listening to Shannon and Ocho Cinco talk about the Colorado Buffaloes. This content was exclusive and explicit, and IG Live went viral from Shannon Sharpe's IG account that appears to, let's just say, touchdowns were being scored. Roughing the passers were being called. Field goals were being made from 50 yards out. It appears as if though somebody was having a good old time. Now, Shannon Sharpe went to his IG Live to say his Instagram was hacked, which is what everybody does when they're in a compromised position on social media. Said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing. They immediately say that their account was hacked. There have been rumors out there in the atmosphere about Shannon Sharpe and his sexuality that he's came out and declined multiple times over, but there is no better proof. Oh, is there no better evidence than the good old thing itself? It looks like Shannon Sharpe maybe got caught on IG Live doing a little 1-2 step with some woman named Michelle. Michelle sounded like she was one of them. All right, anyway, this is a crazy headline for Shannon Sharpe, who, as many of you know, Shannon, since his 8 years at Fox and now he's a year or so away from Fox, he's kept a pretty clean brand. Shannon has been pretty advertiser friendly. He's having a great time nowadays at ESPN and obviously doing his own Nightcap podcast and Club Shay Shay. Oh, is there going to be something to talk about on that Nightcap podcast? We'll talk about that more in a second. A lot of people are asking me, do you think Shannon Sharpe's going to lose a job behind this video that went viral, or audio that went viral, for a better term? My take, and I'm nobody, my guess is nothing's going to happen to Shannon. This is not the same as Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was also on IG Live, but number one, his picture was in the shot. He was on video. Literally, he had to join up to his face like this. Man, that camera was close as hell to Paul's face. He was having a swell time. Number two, Shannon's denying it. Obviously, he's going to say that my account was hacked. Number three, we talk about Shannon Sharpe versus Paul Pierce. No disrespect to Paul Pierce, NBA legend. He was not a broadcast legend. Shannon is on his way to that. He's a better and bigger talent than Paul Pierce is. And I know Shannon's role is not the same at ESPN as it was at Fox, but it's growing. They just signed him to a new deal. I know Disney is Disney. I used to work for Disney. Disney is obviously about the kids. But again, without that video showing Shannon doing anything right, you can't prove it was him, and that'll work in his favor. He'll just deny, as he should. And for Shannon's image, if you're being honest, I think it was a good thing. There again, nobody likes to hear rumors about themselves that they don't believe to be true, or they know that's not true about themselves. From an image standpoint, I think it's good. I've been watching the Nightcap podcast, and Shannon and Chad have definitely been opening up more. These live shows have definitely been a little freaky, if we're being completely honest. Some people will say Shannon leaked his own tape to debunk some of those rumors. I can't speak to that. I mean, the brother's doing fine, but again, nobody likes to hear people talk about him in ways that it's not true. I think it's great to have this conversation. For my YouTube audience, y'all get an exclusive. On a recent episode of the Shannon and Chad Ochocinco Nightcap podcast, Shannon actually called out Chad about his tardiness, being late to the podcast. Now, the reason why Chad was late recently was because Chad does this weird thing. I think it's one of the craziest things I've ever heard of in my life, where when Chad arrives into a city, I've been following Chad on Twitter for years. I've seen him do this for years. I thought it used to be scripted, but now I realize this is actually a real thing. So when Chad flies into a city, instead of paying the $50 for Ubers, right, Chad tweets out that he's in your city and asks anybody, if you want to pick up $400, $500, $1,000 sometimes, come pick me up at the airport. Chad says it's a comfort thing. He likes doing it. But yes, random people pick up Chad Ochocinco from the airport. And Shannon had enough of his tardiness. We're going to listen to some audio from the Nightcap podcast. I think this is ridiculous.
His name was Alex. He was really cool dude. And as soon as he opened the car door and he got out the car door to greet me, the car door locked by accident. So I would have been on time, but the fact that we had to wait for the tow truck and them to bring the Slim Jim was the reason for my delay in getting to the hotel a little late. But I'm here now.
Let me ask you a question. So when you go to ESPN, you have people pick you up from the airport?
Yeah.
No, you don't. When you do inside the NFL, you have people pick you up from the airport?
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah.
No, you don't. So I'm just trying to figure out why with your show would you choose to take that route when you don't take that route for ESPN and inside the NFL?
I wasn't lying. I'm dead serious. When I fly into Philly, I have somebody pick me up from Philly. When I fly into New York, I have somebody pick me up from New York. I'm serious.
That ain't what they told me. I just talked to ESPN.
Hold on, listen to me now. It's documented, huh? It's documented.
I'm just telling you.
But all you have to do is just search my tweets. I've been doing it the past 15 years. I always do this.
I'm not saying that.
Yes, sir. Talk to me now.
Ocho.
Right.
Again. Ocho, this is part of your show. Right. Why would you be late? Why would you run the risk of being late?
I didn't want to be late. I just told you what happened. I would have been on time. But due to unfortunate circumstances of him locking the keys in his car, which I documented, I was just a little late.
Why don't you, Ocho? Why don't you just have the people that you're working for just have them to book your car service?
I don't like car service.
It's okay.
I don't like how them people they be mean and they be bougie. I don't like, they be in suits and ties and shit. That don't make me comfortable. That don't make me comfortable. What makes me comfortable is like being able to sit down and talk. Wait,
you want to be comfortable or you want to be professional?
No, I don't want to be. No, I want to be comfortable. I want to talk to people that I can relate to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just telling. But see, here's the thing, Ocho. You say you want to be professional. You want to do ESPN. You want to do all these professional things, but you want to take a bootleg ride.
No. I want to remain my authentic self the same way I always been and do those things. Is that okay?
Okay.
No.
Okay. Let me know how that work out for you. Colorado lost to Nebraska 20.
So yeah, that's about 2.5 minutes of Shannon pretty much chewing Chad out for being late to his show, calling him out for his professionalism. And by the way, I want to know how that conversation is going to go now that Chad has a little ammo in his gun to shoot back at Shannon. Like, yo, my man, you got caught on IG Live. That's a rookie mistake, Unc. You can't do that either now, Unc. Come on now. That's like rule number 13 in the book. You can't do that either. I know we in different times and Unc is an old school dude, but we had to make some amendments to the rule book. You can't get caught with, you know what I mean? You can't. Now that's just how the game goes. So I would love to see how Chad responds to that on another, whenever they shoot again, maybe tonight. He might cap off the nightcap with the night. Anywho, I do think what Shannon was saying to Chad was incredibly factual. Like, you say what you want about Shannon, he got whatever, maybe got caught on IG Live, get it in. He ain't gonna be late to work. And I don't know Shannon. I've never met Shannon a day in my life, but I do have the pleasure of knowing people that have worked with Shannon, right? I'm not acting like they best friends with Shannon, but I have people that worked at Fox, and I know people that work at ESPN now, right? And Shannon's not a part of that like that because he's just remote work for the most part. But Shannon's a professional, a consummate professional, from what I hear at least. For those who don't know, I tell these personal stories about self often because it's like the only way I can make my platform personable when we talking about broadcast is tell my real stories, because I am the dude that's literally in the market for shopping for careers, and I'm open to any and all opportunities right now, at least to have the conversation. So like, I'll tell y'all, there's a position available, or it was recently available for the nightcap show that they're doing, and it's a position to be the director. And I think it's ironic because what you see from Chad and Shannon right now, I think a director maybe can, help a little bit. Another producer maybe can help out a little bit with making sure Chad has his car service booked no matter what the hell he's talking about. Chad Johnson doesn't do car service, so he does random people in a city to pick him up, and he's paying more money that way. That's dumb. I'm a big Chad Johnson fan. He was actually one of my two favorite wide receivers growing up. When I was a kid, I was a big Steve Smith guy and a big Chad Johnson guy. I watched pretty much all of Chad's games as a Bengal. I am one of the people that believes Chad isn't a Hall of Famer, right? Though he's most likely not going to ever get in, I believe he is a Hall of Famer. I remember, with that being said, though, Chad Johnson's a 46-year-old man. You can't be late for work, especially when it's your own business, especially when it's something like YouTube Live. And Shannon's so great they're gonna get by for a while, right? But at some point in time, the audience picks up on things. I know that because I run a platform, and you know, Shannon and Chad got great content because Shannon is an all-time level speaker with content right now. He's in his bag, and it's Shanae or Michelle. Anywho, come on now, y'all. Missing all my. Come on now. With that being said, though, Shannon's a professional. Y'all got to realize I worked at ESPN while Skip was there. Skip Bayless was the first person. Like, I'm not lying to y'all. I would literally watch Skip Bayless pull up to ESPN at like 5 in the morning every day. I think like 4. I think he used to work out at ESPN as well. So he literally drove a Chrysler 300, whatever. He would literally be the first somebody in the building. And trust me, I was starstruck, so I would watch everybody. Like Skip, the consummate professional. I'm sure he was like that at FS1. To go from that to Shannon's thing is probably like, yo, we're working from home more times than not, or hotels or wherever, and you're late to that job. Like, damn, Tommy, you late to the remote job? That's pretty bad. You know, and I think Shannon's whole thing is let's not take this for granted. Now, Shannon is going to have to answer to some of Chad's jokes if he decides to go there with him. But I thought it was an interesting thing to play following Shannon's IG Live going viral. He said it wasn't him. Them damn IG Lives, man. Look, I don't go live on IG Live. I've never been that, but if for anybody familiar, you can go live on OBS, which is the software I use to record all my videos. Whenever I decide to go live, which is rare, you better make sure you take out your software key after you go live. Because with one click of the button, the start streaming button, you can make an accident. And for hours, you could be streaming and not even know you're on live. It's crazy. And I hope I'm not jinxing myself. Time, love, and support with your boy. Never take for granted. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Unc apparently was on his nightcap vibe. I'm out. If you love flexing your sports knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports and win some money while you're at it. That's Underdog. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play too. All you got to do is go to the Underdog website or app. You got to pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that specific game. You get your picks right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. And when you sign up, if you use your boy's promo code, which is Ferro, your deposit will get matched up to $1,000 is available to you in bonus cash. You can't beat that. Tap in with Underdog. My promo code is Ferro.